stand solid as rocks against the boulders of fear. Move mountains with carefully pressed lapels. The straightened ties would dangle from straight necks. Shine shoes would press into the floor, rise off the ground and press down again. And right then, I knew that it was possible to fly. So the responsibility of the misunderstood can be underestimated, the way we're educated to believe the proverbs of our childhood. Those that aren't with us are against us. So we wage war in the middle of our binaries. But contrary to our national investment in normality, there's only us. The authentically misshapen misfits whose bodies refuse to conform, whose minds are already wandering because the beaten path is across our backs. And perhaps that's the real threat of change, that we may not understand the elasticity of evolution. We may not have a say in just how far this goes, have no say in just how much the next generation can do or be or say. And I know that there's 13.7 billion years between myself and the Big Bang, but I've witnessed creation as pebbles become stones in a system that prefers gravity over destiny. And they use our stories like fuel, burn us under the pressure like coal unless we become hard as a diamond in the rough. And it's up to us to remember that the more cuts the stone gets, the brighter it shines. And if evolution ever becomes as reckless as consistency, then I suspect that mothers would stop telling their babies that they're perfect just the way they are. So they say that God never makes the same thing twice. And then they hold the youngest to the oldest and speculate about what went wrong. Well, I can tell you, that baby had the audacity to believe from birth that limits were only a myth, that perfection was an expectation gained only by the tenacity to live in authenticity. The unprecedented was expected because it's never been done like this. That's what our hearts have always told us, so how silly of us to believe from birth that we could be anything we could believe we could be. And for those that cracked under the pressure, I don't hold that against you, because chances are no one ever told you that the world changed the day you were born. See, there were mothers and fathers going about their business. Grocery lists being satisfied, debts being settled, quarrels being resolved, children committing playfulness across an ordinary day like any other that had come before. And then you arrived. Everything that had been done regularly, even just a moment before you appeared, is now obsolete. As if the earth itself could not maintain its regularity under the gravitational pull of your destiny. The very definitions of possibility must be recreated, because nothing like you has ever been created. All you ever needed was for someone to turn and look you straight in the eye and tell you that the world had been waiting. That evolution had stopped creating until they received news from heaven that everything was going to be done different because you had arrived. And we've neglected to tell you how grateful we are that you're alive. So no, you don't have to know who you are. You can question 1,000,000 times a day whether or not you're living the life that you're supposed to. You can question the mirror, beg to change your reflection, exasperate your confusion. You can cut at your flesh and tear at your spirit, enslave your uniqueness and capture your essence. And when you're ready, when your aching muscles are exhausted, your tears are bitter and dry against your cheeks, when your body is done fighting and your spirit is aching to be loved and you simply can't hold it in any longer, I'll be the rock. For those who have never seen what they could be, never heard their names said gently, for those that have never heard a voice like theirs or feet that leave tracks they may want to follow, I'll be the rock. For the weary bodies, for the unconformed and undefined, the dividing line between our authenticity and normality, for every little girl awake in the middle of the night praying for God to have mercy at puberty, for every little boy standing in mommy's mirror with decorated faces and oversized heels, for every bleeding wrist and bruised face, for myself at 13 who never saw a me, let this be your answered prayer. For every gender-bender warrior, for every midnight dreamer, I'll be there when you're ready. When the fight becomes too much, I'll be the sturdy shoulder for a weary warrior. I'll be the hands that hold you when you're tired, the voice that speaks in your silence. I'll be the hands that straighten your tie, and the strength to move mountains when your feet press into the floor, rise off the ground and press down again. And when you're ready, I'll show you that it's possible to fly.